Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Toluwanimi. I am the direct mentor for the AI track. I'll be sharing my screen. All right. Um, don't mind the title. It's not just for beginners. It's for different levels. So IQBX is basically a community learning platform, and of course we have different tracks. The direct mentor for the AI track. Here we'll be talking about the machine learning and artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence came about um, basically the way it sounds like the normal intelligence is human intelligence, which is biological. So we're trying to create something to simulate how humans think, how humans became an intelligent being, and that's why some of the algorithms in artificial intelligence are actually like named following such. For example, we have the artificial neural network. Basically, the neurons in the brain are responsible. They are the brain cells, and they form a particular network and patterns. That's how memories are formed. So, artificial neural network is named following such because it's basically keep nodes from a particular network using that, and therefore learns and can come to make a decision. So, um, in some, artificial intelligence is basically learning patterns from data, inferring from previously known facts, which are actually the data. Um, initially, early on in computer science, we use the rule-based systems in which if someone selects one, it brings out the option on that one, then from there, like that. But in artificial intelligence, it does not have to be a fixed because there are a lot of variables attached, and which is actually where artificial intelligence comes in. It makes predictions, not just, for example, using the Bayesian classification. It makes a probability, it calculates the probability of this occurring based on the known facts and previously available data, and then bring out the most probable response. So instead of static rule-based system, if someone goes in a direction, they definitely need this. It calculates the probability of this occurring. Then even if it does not know about this particular data about before, it could make a decision based on what it has learned over time. So in traditional system, all the rules, if there's a traditional system, the rules, all the rules are written, that means there's no dynamic way of learning. But in artificial intelligence, it learns rules from the data. Then, okay, for example, I made an example of the artificial neural network. There is an engine layer in which, after listing all the variables you think are important for making this particular bringing this particular output, there's an engine layer that helps you fix variables you do not notice, basically, and you cannot think of. It learns and then, oh, this variable is actually important, then make rules associated with that variables. So some of these examples are actually important in the health system, such as making specific diagnoses, making predictions of developing certain conditions based on certain parameters shared with such patients. Okay, yeah, machine learning. There's people confuse machine learning with artificial intelligence, but they're actually very different. Machine learning is a subset of artificial intelligence. It's a way to build artificial intelligence using data. It's quite different. It's just a subset of machine learning, of artificial intelligence rather. Artificial intelligence encompass a lot, such as computer vision, um, a lot basically, not just machine learning, computer vision and others. And therefore, that's why I said machine learning is just a subset of it. And there are a lot of applications of that Um, and before we became aware of, before ChatGPT and the likes became mainstream, we've actually been using machine learning way before that, and without actually knowing. For example, the Face ID for people using iPhone, not just Face ID, the Face Unlock too. The suggestion, we notice that when you type this, then suddenly when you're typing something else, it gives you a list of options. It's basically a recommendation based on your previous action. Detection when you're using portrait mode in your cameras, your fingerprints uses machine learning. It learns your face, your contours, basically, like Face ID now uses infrared, and then measure the depth of various points. They form a computer image of such, but in numbers this time around. And therefore, once your image comes to, there's a particular limit. Oh, if there's more than 70% match, your phone unlocks. Otherwise, it locks you out. And that's how it works under the build. We also make use of artificial intelligence in social media, like I said earlier, your Twitter, your Instagram recommendation algorithm, in which you notice that you keep seeing content that you like. There are millions of content out there, but the ones that are shown to you are the ones most likely that you like. Yes, they are based on your previous action, previous interaction. Your friend's suggestion in Facebook, content moderation, such as text and image analysis. Yes, and that's under AI to image conversion to the compression algorithm that we use, such that, oh, they ask you to upload a picture, but it must not be more than 2 MB. Then you go to an app or a website and compress. It's basically machine learning, compresses similar colors to a particular color, and then instead of occupying more space, it gets compressed. Like I said, AI is very important in healthcare. ECG interpretation. I don't know if anyone has done ECG here, but if you've done ECG, you notice that some of the machines are actually going to tell you your most likely diagnosis even before the doctor sees it. Yes, and there are some of more moderns. I think there was a paper released 2 years ago on using machine learning to predict the risk of breast cancer in females. Um, the model compares different, the paper compares different models in predicting the risk, and then outputting the most recommended algorithm for doing that. So how does machine learning work? Basically, you collect data, you clean up the data, you fix the missing data points, you train the model, you test the accuracy, and then deploy your systems. Um, okay. In the most basic form, machine learning can be divided into supervised, unsupervised, and reinforcement learning, although they are added, but in the most basic form, these are the three. In supervised learning, you have the data and you have the answer. Okay, you're saying, oh, is this paper red or black? Then you have the answer, which is red or something. Then in unsupervised, there's no pattern. You don't know the answer. Then you give it to the computer to find where the pattern, what the pattern is, and learns it, and then outputting results. Then reinforcement learning. Yeah, you give the data, and then you give a reward or punishment based on the action. Let's take, for example, chess. Yes, chess is a very good example. For it is more comparable, but in the most simple terms, you're playing a game, and the end result is actually to win the game. So, in this case, you are rewarding the model. If it wins, you give it a reward. If it loses, then a punishment. And therefore, it's able to learn that, oh, I'm supposed to make this move, what the effect will be in the long term. Okay, the quality of your model is based on the quality of data you feed it, and that's where bias data comes in. If some of us are more active on Twitter, I guess, there was, I think some people have the opinion that the Grok is actually biased. It's, but yeah, it's based on how you set up your data. Um, if you're saying it should lean towards the set of people, it will. It's basically the quality is based on the data you give it to it, you give to the model. So as much as we are trying to improve artificial intelligence in the real world, there are certain things, limitations that are currently there. For example, nobody has the solution to artificial general intelligence, which is the end goal of artificial intelligence, being able to think like human or better, in which it can make an inference from previously unrelated set of data and then make a prediction and make a decision, which is what you can do. For example, you're going to a road now, you're going to one house and then you see multiple road. You might not be able to know which road to take, but you're not actually making a random guess. You might not be conscious of it, but your brain basically tries to make a decision based on every data it has ever had, and then look at which is more likely to be the road you're supposed to take, and that's what artificial general intelligence is. Yeah, as much as we want artificial intelligence, we want robots, we want um, improvement in healthcare, we want computers to do better at our jobs with minimal directions from us. There are certain concerns, such as privacy. I know let me not say I know. The club bus that was trending about 2 weeks ago, everybody was shouting about it. Basically, connects to your model, then do a lot of things while you sleep on your computer, then send emails, do your work, draft out articles for you, and just depending on how much permission you give it to it. But then apparently there was a minor, let me not say minor, a mini it's not a bug, it's a malware inside the application, and with the level of permission you're giving to the to Clubbots, it basically has access to a lot of things, and that's why most veterans that set up Clubbots end up buying. That's why buying a Mac Mini then was kind of trending. So privacy concerns, how much should the model know about you? How much are the companies taking away from you? Exactly like that. Then over reliance on machines. I know some people have parents like when they were younger, telling them not to watch TV and etc. etc. They were trying to reduce the reliance on machines, and this time around, the machine is actually even more. It's better, it's bigger, and reliance is undeniable. It's a question of how much you rely on it. Of course, we have to learn to use AIs and everything associated with it, but how much should you use? One, is it supposed to replace thinking for us, which is a no? Of course, I'm sure at one point or the other we've started using artificial intelligence, your LLMs, ChatGPT, Cloud, Anthropic, Google Gemini. So for writing, then I use AI almost every day. Your phone, of course, there are some programs going underneath that are based on machine learning. Your emails, the reason why you have promotion from spam, from everything is based on machine learning. And at the most basic level is actually a Bayesian classification. So final thoughts, AI won't replace you, for some reason I probably will. There's a panic in the tech ecosystem recently because I can't remember the name of the company right now. Laid off thousands of employees, and there was this panic that AI will replace. But AI won't actually. It's although no one can predict how the future, but a lot of things, the way we approach things will change, and that's why getting started is the way to go. And at Equibox, we are giving you the opportunity to come and learn, and not just learn, come and learn properly. Um, Not just learn properly. You're the one doing the learning yourself. You're just being supervised, directed to the right resource. And the best form of learning is actually by doing. You do projects, you present, which is going to prepare you for from just not writing code. Like at the end, at the peak of your career, you're not just writing code, you are seeing why this decision is important, and that's what makes a senior from a junior level, and you're getting started right now. And we're also helping to project by giving the learner of the week, thereby creating some form of visibility and helping you to prepare for the job market. As much as those minor things count in the long run, because it shows how much effort, how much you're ready, and we can't wait to have you among us to get started with artificial intelligence and machine learning. Thank you very much for your time.